Hello, ladies and gentlemen, 'tis I, Michael A. Grimm, aka the Multi-Voice. I have many voices, but one opinion, and this time, I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to tell a story. And remember in my D&D game that I play a vampire blood mage named Leon Noctis? Well, I have written sort of like a script journal or something like that with my character. I've written a sort of like a script, like a book or something, and I decided to do a little something crazy. I decided to make an audio story about it, and it may have the Dungeons and Dragons logo on it, and also I'll be hinting one character from the Dungeons and Dragons, and it's the one called Strad from Ravenloft. But the rest of the story, it's all made up by my part. Some of them are a little bit like from that old Gauntlet game I like, but hey, I like to play that character too, and I just wanted to be part of the thing. So I hope you enjoy my story, because I had a hard time trying to record, telling the whole thing, and even edit it. So please enjoy, and let me know down in the comment below. Hello, my name is Leon Noctis, and yes, I am a vampire blood mage. I wasn't always a vampire long ago. I used to be a young mortal mage, and I didn't know anything about my parents. I was an orphan at age 5, but when I was 17, I met a very powerful archmage. He turned out to be the Dragonborn archmage named Draco Connery. He was not only a teacher, he was more like a father figure to me. He never told me to eat up all the bad, wash your ears, do your homework. No, he respected my privacy, and he taught me self-reliance. Sorry, I always like to imitate him, even though it gets on his nerves, but what can I say? I love imitating my teacher. But anyway, he also taught me everything that I needed to know about magic to become one of the greatest magical mage throughout the land. I became one of his greatest sorcerer apprentice, in a way, if he was Nicolas Cage. After I was 20, my master Draco told me that it's time for me to go up on my own. While I was out in the woods, trying to learn a lot about the magic of nature, that's when I found her. Zorana, the most beautiful wood elf I've ever met. I usually don't believe in love at first sight, but the first time I met her, we just clicked. She started showing me the magic of nature. She taught me that I don't need spells to use magic. I just use magic from within myself because we are a part of it. After she took me to her village, I met her father, the High Wood Elf. He taught me a whole lot about the nature of magic and the magic from within. But I also seemed to be in love with his daughter very much, so I asked his permission to offer his daughter hand in marriage. And much to my surprise, he accepted because he sensed a lot of goodness within me and thought I was good enough for his daughter. Until that one night that changed everything. During the night when I was ready to marry Zorana, I saw a mysterious figure, which I assumed was some elf, but it turns out she was a mysterious vampire woman who bit me. I don't know anything about that woman. Why did she turn me into a vampire? But I heard that she was in league with some powerful, evil vampire. And the only evil vampire I ever heard was Strad von Zevovitz from Ravenloft. My Master Draco sensed something was wrong, so he used everything in his power in order to make sure that I don't act like a wild animal. Draco should have killed me and freed me, but he can still sense that I'm still the same mage that he taught and raised. So, he made me the Blood Moon Amulet that shields me from the sun and any weapon that would cause me any harm. And he also gave me a serum that would sustain myself in case my bloodthirst starts to return. And after I became more normal, then he taught me the new kind of magic, blood magic. I asked my master about Zorana. He told me that she did show up to see how I'm doing, and then after seeing me turn, she decided to give me her ring. I went to her village to have a talk to her father, but he told me that vampires cannot love a wood elf, but I can tell that they are afraid of me because they have never met a vampire throughout their lives. But I would do anything to see Zorana once again. But now there is a matter of a dark elf to deal with. Her name is Nocturna. She is a dark elf, or a drow, if you would. She just found me fascinating, and all she decided to do is trying to get me interested in her. She even took me into her subterranean drow village. It was different, but I don't like it. She always keeps trying to get me interested in her, but sadly, I'd rather be with a wood elf than a dark elf, because the dark elves are too dark and depressing. But no matter how hard I tried to tell her that I'm not interested, she's still trying to make me change my mind. I always kept telling her no, but she keeps on insisting. So now, I decided to go off on my own, until I heard that there is another powerful evil vampire besides Strad von Jebovitz. And he goes by the name of Baron Matthias Malister. Baron Matthias Malister, he's a vampire blood mage, like me, except he takes a dark path. And I also heard that he has a drow as his undead slave. So now, I'm on a journey to battle against Malister, trying to find the answers I'm looking for. But I found some more people along the way. I found this Krillic, who calls herself the Illustre Cleric. Now, one thing I heard about her is that she was once a subterranean drow who left her village because she's been getting wisdom from her moon goddess called Illustre by using the light of the moon. So, I learned some things from her, and even tried to help me find peace and finding a way to get back to Zorana as I could. And I found a couple of friends along with me. I found a werewolf tracker who calls herself Adine's Mako, a tiefling rogue who calls herself Damien, Angelica, the Asaman warrior, and from out of nowhere I found this magical jester who calls himself Fool, the magical jester. He's from a land of dreams. His land was taken over by something called the Shadow Wraith, who took over his land of dreams and turned it into a nightmare land. Even Draco Connery told me that there is a powerful, evil, red Dragonborn mage who calls himself Teraptus, who's creating all the evil in the world. So with the help of my companions I made, I'm ready to accept the challenge and finally get back to my beloved Zerana.
What you're listening to is a fantasy story written, narrated, and created by Michael A. Graham himself, me. Now, I started this story as like a whole journey that I thought up, but this time I decided not to put an ending on it because the whole journey is written, but not a destination. So it's up to you to find out how it would end. And if you like this story, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe. I'm the multi-voice storyteller, telling you guys, I hope you enjoyed the story.